Okay, everybody's asking questions about money, which, how are you monetizing this? I mean, Kim asks, are you monetizing the audio portion from advertising and additional subscriber fees? Grant, I love your question. Revenue? Question mark. Guy, how are you monetizing this? What's the sales process? What are you charging? Give us an idea.
Easy peasy. So you see right here, Matt pulled up our website, and the Prescott Hearing Center is our primary, actually the first to sponsor our Audible stories. And we're selling together both the sponsorship on our webpage as well as the sponsorship on our podcast separately. But here's a really cool feature that we're about ready to employ, and Kristen over at Wilson County has the same feature, is that the podcast platform, Buzzsprout, allows you to in-cap your Audible with other sponsorships automatically. So you could upload to Buzzsprout a separate sponsor if you want to separate your podcast from your on-site sponsorship. So we're simply offering the both Audible mention as well as the visual one on our webpage. We're selling both the podcast and the website, which you see here together, and it's paying for itself. It's a piece of cake.
What are you charging, if I may ask? Unless you don't want to share, but what kind of fees are you getting?
We're making money.
Okay, good answer.
It was really easy to do, especially targeting maybe a vision center or a hearing center, or maybe events coming up. There's a lot of different ways it wasn't very hard because they get it. They're on our website, they're on our podcast, and they're everywhere. And we, as a publisher, we're an agency as well, because that's my background is digital agency, is we have billboards, we have a magazine, we have a website, now we have a podcast. Our thing is you can be everywhere with us. And this is where news publishers partnering with Hometown, our Hometown can do is they can really be everywhere. They could be on the newsprint digital pages. They can be on the podcast and other spots that the news publishers create.
Kristen, how are you monetizing this? Similar? How are sales going?
We started a little differently because we started with just turning on audio articles and having that on the site. We found that we also launched Facebook Live about a year ago, and decided that I would package that sponsorship with the audio articles to help bring more attention to audio articles and kind of teach the advertisers about that there's the two components. So they're really getting a lot of the Facebook Live attention, but that has helped to educate them about.
Is that what I'm looking at right now? Is that a Facebook Live stream you did? Who are you interviewing there? What is that story that Matt brought up?
So that's actually my daughter, Julia Weaver, on Bill's Right, and she's interviewing our FED, our Economic Development Executive Officer here in Floresville. He's in the middle, that's Ben Reed. They're talking about, with two other people there, they're talking about a community market that they've been doing, and still they're doing really well with it, and just trying to, we bring on different organizations and community members just kind of as casual conversation and through this Facebook Live, and just talk about different things, usually trying to really lift up our businesses, our local small town guys, and that's usually what we're always trying to do. So
look at all that. Look at all of that activity and chat that's going on, all that engagement. Was it hard to produce this? This is live. In other words, you shoved the camera in your conference room. How did you get the banner on the bottom? Is that just an easy program? How did you pop that in there, if I may ask?
It's a free download. Matt, what's it called?
Was it OBS or something like that? I can dig up the link.
Great idea.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because this is live. When I record our podcasts in this room and add all the advertising stuff as we render it in editing, which only takes about 30 minutes. You're doing this live with a sponsor mention. That's really cool. And now, are you recording this as well for the podcast as well at the same time? How does that go? How did you get this audio to be distributed? No, okay, you're not.
I'm not yet. I could see doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, so I just simply packaged the audio articles with this. But now, because a few weeks ago we turned on the API, the automated feed, I've been talking to the team, and we've developed now some different levels of opportunities. So we're going to actually break out the Facebook Live that holds its own, and we're going to actually have a new sponsorship opportunity just for the audio articles podcast. And then we are also working on an actual customized weekly podcast episode that Julia produces every week, what's going on in Wilson County. And we're going to try to make an opportunity for sponsorship of that as well. Because once you put those podcasts into the automated feed like that, it's just so evident, like you have a completely new audience, and it's just right in front of you. It's very, very good. You can see all the numbers, all the data that's coming to you from Buzzsprout, of the statistics and everything. All of a sudden it's like, whoa, the audio articles, that's the big thing, because that Witty's is the sponsor, and that is being read over, and you can see, like, what was it, 525 downloads last week alone.
500? You're not a big market. You had 525 audio downloads last week. That's pretty good. My question now is, you still are a newspaper, right? There's still a press running and something. I'm sorry, but after you do an interview like this, do you write it up? Is this content that you can create for? Why are you laughing? Go ahead.
Because I would love that, but we haven't been able to piece that together. So yes and no, because we have written about a lot of these things, but it's just putting it through Facebook Live is just.
I get it. It's another because sometimes at E&P I get yelled at because I do a podcast on a topic that we didn't write in the magazine, and someone says, I don't have time to listen to it. Why don't you write up what happened? And there's only so much bandwidth you have with the content you create, right? I mean,
right.
This is great.
Yep.